Great. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Julie and this is beginner Vinyasa yoga. So we're going to start on our backs today. So just laying all the way down here, getting comfortable for a few moments. And create some space between your torso and your arms, palms face up. Maybe rolling your shoulder blades back and down so they're flat on the floor, letting your feet splay out. Keeping your gaze soft or closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. And just starting to notice your breath here, not changing it yet, just noticing naturally how it is right now. And then we're going to come into a breathing exercise. So this one is called box breathing. Last week we did the resonance breathing. So this is kind of a similar idea in that we're activating our parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to help us reduce our stress levels, which is definitely needed this week. So for this box breathing, we're going to inhale for 4 counts. We're going to hold our breath at the top for 4 counts. We're going to exhale for 4 counts. We're going to hold our breath at the bottom for 4 counts. Okay, so 4 times 4. All right, so we have 4 different parts, holding for 4 on each of those, and I'll guide us through the first couple, and then kind of going at your own pace, counting in your head after that. All right, so let's fully exhale here to start, getting all the air out of our lungs. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Continuing counting in your head. Continuing here, maybe noticing as you inhale that your belly rises, and as you exhale, your belly falls. A little bit easier to notice that here when we're lying down. Two more full cycles here. All right, and when you're done, we're going to bring our knees in towards our chest, nice and gently, maybe grabbing opposite elbows here. Trying to keep your head, neck, and shoulders down towards the ground. And then maybe just do a gentle rock side to side, holding your knees in towards your chest. We're going to come into a little gentle core activator here. So bending into our knees, our shins are parallel to the ground. Arms can come just down towards your side here. All right, flexing into our feet. And then we're going to slowly release one leg at a time and tap our heel or our toes down on the ground. So for this one, we really want to make sure we're engaging our core, especially that lower core here. So to do that, we're pressing our lower back into the ground. Make sure if you try to put your fingers down under your lower back that they don't go through. Okay, we want it completely pressing down on our mat. All right, and then relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders. Slowly lower one leg down. You can keep it bent. And raise it back up. And lower the other leg down. Raise it back up. Just going at your own pace here, one leg at a time. Just noticing as you lower your leg down. Notice if your lower back wants to come up at all and try to prevent that from happening here. Don't forget to breathe. Two more on each side. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself another rock side to side. And then you can either turn over to one side and press yourself up to a seat, or we can start to rock along our spine here, up and down. And then we'll cross our legs here at the top and rock over onto all fours here, coming into child's pose. Widening nice and wide into our knees, about mat distance apart. Our toes come together behind us. Sit back on your heels, reaching forward through your fingertips. And allow your armpits to sink down towards your mat. Allow your forehead to come down towards your mat as well. And just starting to notice your breath here again. As you inhale, your belly comes through your inner thighs. Maybe you feel it raising your inner thighs. And then as you exhale, belly comes in towards your spine. Couple more deep breaths here in your child's pose. You can always come back to this position anytime throughout class. And on your next inhale, let's rise up onto all fours, shoulders stack over your wrists and hips over your knees. Our knees are about hip distance apart. Toes are pointed behind us. We're going to come into cat-cow here. So as you inhale, dropping your belly down, look up. Arch into your back. Exhale, round your spine, looking towards your belly button. Inhale, arch, looking up. Exhale, round, looking in. Just going at your own pace here, cat and cow, really exaggerating these movements through our spine. And coming towards neutral here, doing any more movements in this position that might feel good to you today. Maybe bringing your same shoulder towards your same hip and a little bit of a side bend. And switching sides. Maybe you want to bring some hip circles into this. Bringing your hips around, back and down. Maybe you get some hip pops from this one. I definitely do. That's okay. And if you're doing that circle, just make sure you switch directions. And then make your way back towards our tabletop position here. So we're just going to set up our hands a little bit here so we can do another little core activator. lifting one leg at a time here. Okay, so we're gonna really plant both palms down on the mat here. All 10 fingers are pressing down. Our index fingers are facing forward. So our hands are just very slightly turned out. All right, okay, so our same position here, but that pressing into our palms and our fingertips is gonna help alleviate some pressure from our wrists, all right? So we're always trying to work on that throughout our planks, our tabletop, anything where our palms are touching the ground. All right, and from here, we're gonna ground into our right knee, keeping your right knee down. We're gonna lift up through our left leg. You can bend into your left knee or straighten into your left leg, flexing your foot. Trying to stay even. So keeping both shoulders over our wrists, keeping our right hip over our right knee. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Engaging into your core. So we are working on core and balance today, okay? So that's kind of our main focus. One more inhale. Exhale, knee comes back down here. Take a clearing breath. And then on your next inhale, grounding into your left knee, lift up through your right leg, flexing into your right foot, bend at your right knee or straighten into that leg. So again, focusing on balance here on our core. So our core is our full torso, right? Our abs, our back, okay, really helping stabilize us in this and in a lot of other postures we're going to do today and generally that we do in yoga. So just focusing on that today, noticing that and noticing that it does require focus and that you can really bring that focus into your everyday life as well. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your knee back down. We're going to come into our first down dog here, planting our hands down, flip your toes under, straighten into your legs, lift your hips up and back. Okay, our knees can bend a little bit here at first, maybe bending one knee, bend the other knee. Just getting comfy in our down dog here. Working towards a nice straight line from our heels all the way up to our hips. And then another from our hips down to our wrists. Okay, making a triangle with our mat being that bottom base. And inhale, lift your heels up nice and high. Exhale, reach your heels down towards your mat. On your next inhale, we're going to shift forward into plank, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Always that option to lower your knees here. On your exhale, bringing it back towards down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. A couple more here at your own pace, moving with your breath. Let's meet in our down dog, and then we'll slowly start to walk our feet in towards our hands for a forward fold. You can bend into your knees pretty deeply here, especially for this first one. Allowing your torso to hang over your upper thighs. Relax your head and neck down. Maybe sway side to side a bit. And on your next inhale, slowly rolling up to stand. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands to come to heart center here. Close your eyes for just a moment. Grounding into your feet. Feeling the weight balance between the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet. Maybe bringing an intention into your practice for tonight. And bring your eyes back open. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, folding into our fold again, keeping your spine long. Inhale, lift up halfway. You can place your palms at your shins here, keeping your spine long again. And then let's exhale, reach our hands down, step back, down dog. Coming into a couple Vinyasa options here. Inhale, shifting forward into your plank. First option is exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin come down. Your hips stay up nice and tall here. Okay, so as we exhale, bending our elbows in close to our body, keeping our hips up, knees, chest, chin are down. And then let's slither forward here into cobra pose, opening up through our chest, keeping our palms down on the ground, but using our lower back to prop us up here. And exhale, use your knees to help you come back to down dog. Another option, shift forward plank as you inhale. Exhale, knees drop down, coming into chaturanga here, either on your knees or on your toes, up to you. Again, bending into our elbows nice and close to our body. Halfway down. Inhale, lift up into up dog for this one. Okay, straightening into our arms. Our thighs, the tops of our feet are touching our mat. Opening up through our chest. Exhale, down dog. Let's walk our feet in towards our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, arms up overhead, and right back into our fold here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, down dog. Coming into our first warrior, inhale your right leg up for three-legged dog. Keep your hips square. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands here, coming into a lunge. Then we're going to step our back foot in and out slightly, 45-degree angle in that back leg so our heel can come down. Inhale all the way up here, bending into your right knee, straight back leg. Arms up overhead here for warrior one. Okay, our shoulders are facing forward. Our hips are getting there as well. Breathing here into our warrior one. Relax your shoulders, but reach your fingertips up high. And then when you're ready, straightening into your front leg, bringing your hands towards your hips. You might want to take another little tiny step in, okay? Shortening that distance just a little bit. Okay, so with our hands at our hips, we're gonna really make sure our hips are squared towards the front of our mat. Okay, and noticing that, we're gonna inhale, lengthen up through our spine. We're gonna start to fold forward into pyramid pose. We don't wanna go super deep with this. Again, we're focusing on our core here. Okay, so notice how your core is what helps you hold yourself up here, okay? So sometimes we have blocks on either side of us for this one, but notice here, when we have our hands at our hips, and we're up a little higher, even though we may not be getting quite as intense of the hamstring stretch in our right leg, we're also activating our core. 2 deep breaths here, pyramid pose. And when you're ready, exhale, place your hands down on the mat, step back, down dog. Other side, inhale your left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands here, again coming towards our warrior one. Step your right foot in and out so you can set that heel down. Inhale, arms come up overhead, bend into your left knee, straight back leg. Rounding down into your warrior one here. Making sure our shoulders face forward, squared. Two deep breaths. And then bring your hands towards our hips, straightening into our front leg. Maybe again, take a little step in with your back leg, squaring our hips towards the front. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, slowly start to fold forward. Feeling a little stretch in our left hamstring. Also activating our core here, holding ourselves up. 2 more full deep breaths, pyramid pose. On your next exhale, release your hands down, step back, down dog. Let's inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga of your choice here. Okay, lowering down on your exhale. On your inhale, shifting forward into your up dog or your cobra. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath here. And let's walk our feet in towards our hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up to stand, arms overhead. Exhale, do a little mini back bend here. Arms reaching back, looking back at the ceiling. And inhale, back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, down dog. Inhale your right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your foot in between your hands again here, setting up our lunge. Okay, setting up a 90-degree angle in our right knee. Okay, straight back leg. Great. Take a breath here, just grounding down. Pulling our chest forward just a little bit. All right, and from here, we're gonna come towards a side plank. So first coming into a twist in our lunge. So keeping our legs in this position, we're gonna ground our left palm down, reaching up through our right arm. Take a breath. Then we're gonna start to roll onto the outside of our right foot. Okay, coming towards a side plank. Options here, we can keep our right foot out in front. You can walk it back a little bit more so it's more comfortable. Or you can bring it all the way back here, full side plank. Or we can drop our bottom knee down here. Okay, so many options. Maybe one here that feels comfortable to you. Once you get comfy and balanced, maybe looking up towards your right hand. The right hand can also come down towards your hip. Okay. Breathing here, stabilizing yourself. 2 full deep breaths. 1 more. Doing great, keep it up. And then exhale, planting both palms down, coming into our down dog. Take a breath here in your down dog. Coming into the other side here, lifting up through your left leg, 3-legged dog. And bring it through between your hands, setting up our lunge, 90-degree bend in our left knee, straight back leg. Pulling our chest forward slightly, opening up through our chest. Good, take a breath in your lunge. And then we'll make our way towards our twist here, planting your right palm down on your mat. Inhale, reach up through your left fingertips. Twisted lunge. Rooting down through your right palm and reaching up through your fingertips. Slowly starting to roll onto the outside of your right foot. Maybe walk your left foot down a little bit. Maybe coming into a full plank. Or dropping that back or that bottom knee. All right, whatever option, try to take the one you did on the other side as well so we stay balanced. Maybe looking up towards your top arm, or we can go ahead and place that hand down on our hip. Take 2 full deep breaths here, side plank. Again, same idea here, really pressing into our palm and our 5 fingers that are on the ground here to alleviate some pressure on our wrist. Very nice. And when you're ready, coming back towards your down dog here. Let's slowly walk our feet in towards our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale, right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, shift to plank, knee towards your nose, engage your core. Pulling your knee up towards your nose. And exhale, release your foot down in between your hands, coming towards a warrior 2 here. Opening up, so our hips face the side, our back foot is about parallel with our mat here. Arms open up to the side. Bending deeply into our front knee, about 90 degrees. Back leg is nice and straight. Our hips are open. Our shoulders stack over our hips, arms reaching out. Maybe look over your right fingertips. Take a couple deep breaths, grounding into both heels. Coming towards side angle pose. Gonna inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, start to reach forward with your right fingertips. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, spinning down here. Our elbow can come towards our thigh, or we can use it just to apply pressure on the inside of our thigh here, okay, using more core. All right, that's totally up to you. Either way, we don't want to be crunching our shoulder towards our ear. Okay, so either one you've chosen here, pressing out, creating space there. Maybe look up towards your top fingertips. One deep breath. On your inhale, rise back up, warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheeling down, plant your hands, and staying in your lunge for just a moment. All right, we're gonna lift up our right foot again, knee to nose. Go for it, knee to nose here. Engaging our core again, and lifting back for a down dog. Take a clearing breath here in your down dog. On your inhale, lifting up through your left leg, 3-legged dog. Exhaling towards your nose, plank position. Hold it, one breath in. Exhale, place your foot in between your hands. Coming towards our warrior 2, spin your back foot down, cartwheel up, opening our hips up. Bending into our front knee, making sure front toes are facing forward, okay, towards the front of our mat. Our knees is going that same direction, right? We don't want our knee turned in or out. Okay, going that same direction, arms out. Maybe look over your left fingertips. 2 deep breaths, bringing some weight into both of your heels, engaging your inner thighs. Moving towards our side angle, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale to start to reach forward and slowly lower down. You're trying to pick the same variation on this side here, either applying pressure or gently resting your elbow on your thigh, not on our knee joint though. Reaching up, out of your left shoulder, up through our right fingertips. Breathe. One more full breath. On your inhale, rising back up, warrior 2. And exhale, arms come all the way back down from your front foot. Stay here for a moment. Again, we're gonna lift up our left foot, knee to nose. Go ahead, knee to nose. One more breath. Engage your core. And bring it back down, dog. Coming towards a child's pose, knees nice and wide, toes together, hips back and down. And taking a few breaths here. Feel free to grab some water whenever you need it. All right. How are we doing? Good. Thumbs up. Great. All right. So we're going to do a little balancing series here, and then kind of moving down towards the floor after that one, and doing a little bit more focused core for our bellies and our backs. Okay, just a little bit. Don't be worried, and then we'll get right to our really nice cool down with pigeon pose and everything. All right. So we're going to start standing now. So coming out of your child's pose, when you are ready, moving towards a standing position, we're going to come into a tree pose. Okay, so rounding down into your right foot, that's your base foot, and then turning out at our left leg. Okay, left knee turns out. Let's place our hands at our hips here so we know our hips are facing forward. Maybe placing our heel at our ankle. Okay, we can stay right there. Maybe moving it up towards your calf. Maybe moving the bottom of your foot all the way up towards your inner thigh. Okay, either way, but let's not press on our knee joint here, so either going above or below the knee joint. Very nice, really finding some stability here. We can keep our hands at our hips, or maybe bring our hands to heart center, or hands up overhead. Up to you, whatever feels good, whatever feels natural today. And just breathing there, taking a couple full deep breaths. I see some beautiful trees. Keep that up. Really creating a lot of stability here into our right ankle and our right foot. Okay, but we're also using our core here. Okay, our whole torso is working in this as well. From here, we're going to come into a one-legged Tadasana. So let's not put our foot down yet. But as you come out of your tree, we're going to keep our leg bent out in front of us, slowly shifting towards that, bending our knee out in front of us here for one-leg Tadasana, flex into your front foot. Option to stay here or option to kick out, straight front leg. Just keeping our hips square either way. Very nice. Take a deep breath here, lengthening up through the crown of our head. And from here, I'm just going to turn towards my front so we can go into a lunge. Okay, so trying to keep that balance on your right leg. We're going to slowly shift our left leg back. Take a huge step back if you can into our lunge. Arms come up overhead. Our back heel is lifted. Lengthen through your spine. And your arms can stay up here, come down towards your hips. Either way, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. Again, just creating some core connectivity here. Okay, breathing through that. Keeping weight on your front heel. Exhale, release your hands down, down dog. Take a breath. Inhale, shift forward. Vinyasa of your choice. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's walk our feet in towards our hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, arms up overhead. Hands to heart center, exhale. Coming towards tree on our other side here. Okay, so our left foot is going to be that base here. Hands at our hips, turning out through our right leg. Okay, heel can come to ankle, bottom of our foot to our calf, or bottom of our foot towards our inner thigh. Okay, totally up to you, whatever feels balanced today. Same with the arms. Again, we can keep them at our hips, bring them to heart center, or grow our branches. Rounding down into your base leg, creating that stability. Also creating that compression here between the bottom of your foot and your inner thigh, or wherever your foot is resting. Just pressing between those two parts of your body. That compression is happening there. 2 more full deep breaths in our tree. Very nice, everyone. 1 more breath. Try not to topple your tree. Mine's starting to get a little windy. And then coming towards our one-legged Tadasana, reaching that leg forward, bending into that leg, flex your foot. Maybe your leg straightens out. Okay, we'll reach our arms up for this. One-legged Tadasana. Very nice. 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to shift our weight forward, shifting our right leg back behind us and big step into a lunge. Again, bending into our front knee, back leg is nice and straight, back heel is still lifted, so we've got a big step here. Arms up overhead, or maybe they come down to heart center, to your hips. We'll inhale, lengthen up through our spine. Exhale, start to hinge forward here. Keeping our spine long, just creating a bit more of an angle here at our hip. 1 more full breath. And let's exhale our hands down, step back, down dog. Walking our feet in towards our hands. Let's sit on down. We're going to come into a couple of little exercises here. So laying all the way down onto our back. So this first one is going to be bicycles. And this is kind of yogi style. So we're going to do it with a little bit more intention, a little bit slower, and a little bit more cueing here. So we're going to clasp our hands. We're going to come back behind our head. We're going to try to keep our elbows nice and wide here. Okay, and then we're going to start with, just like how we did in the beginning of class, our shins parallel to the ground, feet flex, knees bent. All right, and from here, we're going to straighten into our right leg. Let our right leg lower down at the same time as we lift up through our right elbow. And then coming back to center, straightening through our left leg, reaching up and over through our left elbow. Bringing it back to center at your own pace here, breathing with it. Always coming back to that center before we move to the other side, nice and slow. Just a couple more cycles here. 2 more on each side. Keep breathing. Meeting back in center and slowly lowering down. And just take a full clearing breath here. Okay, 1 more on our backs here. This one's kind of fun, kind of like a, I guess we can call this a starfish. So we're gonna start by bending our knees in towards our chest, giving them a little hug. And then we're gonna open up nice and wide, arms up overhead. And we can hover our arms and legs, or we can completely rest them down on the ground. It's totally up to you. If you're hovering, try to keep your lower back grounded. All right, squeezing in again, reaching for your shins. And then exhale, release. And squeeze it. And release. Just a couple more here, squeezing in. And release. Tucking in. Last one. And release. And just lie here for a breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to flip over onto our bellies, facing the front of your mat. Okay, if you can here. All right, we're going to come into a little locust pose. All right, so a couple options here. We can have our heels together behind us, or we can have a little bit of stability. Bless you, that was my cat sneezing. Through our legs. So if you want, you can widen your legs a little bit wider than hip distance, and you can kind of use that as support here. All right. So either way, placing our hips down on the ground. Okay, and then let's lower all the way down here, chin and rest down. All right. And our palms are going to be planted under our shoulders here, coming towards locust pose. Okay, starting kind of with more cobra-like. Inhale, lift up through your chest here, and then you can stay here or start to slowly lift your palms up off the ground, keeping your feet grounded here. Lifting up, rolling your shoulders back and down. Breathe, balancing here on your hips and your lower ribs. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Placing one palm on top of the other. You can rest your forehead or one cheek down. Take a couple breaths here. From here, we're going to come into one more set of that. Okay, so again, planting your palms down. Rest your forehead or your chin down for a moment. And then on your inhale, lifting up, keeping your feet down. Lifting up through your chest, and then start to hover your palms up. Lifting up, reaching up. Keeping your gaze about at the front of your mat. Breathing here, balancing on our ribs and our hips. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly release. If you had one cheek down, make sure you switch to the other cheek. Very nice. And from here, again, planting our palms down, we're going to make our way towards a down dog. Try to go through a push-up position if you can. Definitely use your knees to help you up here. Okay, so keeping our core engaged, spine long, pressing up, and then up through down dog. From here, coming into our pigeon pose, inhale your right leg up behind you. Exhale your right knee towards your right wrist. Walk your back leg back. If this bothers your knee at all, please turn over onto your back for a figure 4 position. All right. Very nice. Okay, pigeon pose. You're just getting comfortable. Making sure hips are about even over the mat. We don't want our right hip coming down and relaxing on the mat here. Okay, we can stay up or coming down towards your forearms. If you're coming down here, make sure you release your head and neck. you have something raised that you want to place your forearms on, that's great too. I have a few books over here. So if it is kind of a little bit too much of a stretch to come all the way down, you can always land on something a little raised. Breathing into your right hip. And on your next inhale, slowly start to rise back up. Plant your palms. And let's tuck our back toes, reaching towards our down dog. Let's lift our right leg up again, coming into a scorpion here. Keeping our shoulders square towards our mat, opening up through your right hip, bend into your right knee. Just a nice counter stretch here. And let's plant that foot back down. Inhale your left leg up. And coming into pigeon on our left side, or if you flipped over onto your back, you can go onto your left side for figure four. Getting comfortable here in our pigeon, taking a couple breaths, and maybe staying up here, or when you're ready, coming down towards your forearms and releasing your head and neck. You sending that breath into your left hip here. One more full breath, beautiful. On next inhale, rising back up to your palms. Tuck your back toes, coming towards down dog. Opening up into our scorpion on our left side. Open up through your left hip. And let's plant that leg down, walking our feet in towards our hands. In, go ahead and sit down, lengthening your legs out in front of you. Coming into a seated forward fold here. Okay, we can have a little bend into our knees, that's okay. Flexing your feet, inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, start to slowly walk forward into our fold. Keep your spine long. Again, we don't want to be rounding down into our fold here, okay? So stay up as high as you need to keep your spine pretty long here. But again, we can put a little bend into our knees. Two full deep breaths here in our seated forward fold. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up. We're going to come all the way back down onto our spine now. Okay, so getting to your room behind you, slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back, maybe testing yourself here, lowering all the way down. And bending your knees here, coming into a bridge pose. Our feet are about hip distance apart here, same with our knees. Our feet are flat on the ground. Heels are pretty close to our bum here. Okay, and we're going to slowly start to peel our spine off the ground, starting with our hips, lifting up, Through your hips, creating a nice long line from our knees to our shoulders. Just taking a couple deep breaths here in bridge, grounding down into your heels. Our knees should be stacked right over our ankles. Couple deep breaths. On your next exhale, slowly rolling down. Taking a clearing breath. Let's bend our knees in towards our chest, give them a little hug. And then straighten into your left leg, keep your right knee bent. We're going to come into a supine twist, bringing your right leg over towards the left. Arms can come out to either side, looking over your right shoulder. Let's try to keep both shoulders here on the ground. Our knee doesn't have to come all the way to the ground. On your next inhale, bringing it back up here, both knees coming towards your chest. Straighten into your right leg. Left leg is still bent. Coming into that twist on the other side here, looking over your left shoulder. On your next inhale, coming back to neutral, knees in towards your chest. One more time here. Maybe coming into a happy baby. Any other movements that feel good for you before coming into Shavasana for a few moments of stillness? If you want to do happy baby, grabbing the outsides of your feet, letting your knees bend on either side of your torso, maybe rocking side to side with this one. Keeping your head and neck grounded, keeping your lower back on your mat as well. To really get the full benefit of this stretch. Whenever you're ready, we're going to come towards stillness for our Shavasana, allowing your feet to straighten out in front of you, just like we started class today. Palms open up towards the ceiling. Just getting comfortable here to a place that you can be still for a few moments. Maybe closing your eyes. slowly starting to bring yourself back. Bringing normal movement into your wrists and your ankles. There's your toes. Reach your arms up overhead for a nice big stretch. And let's turn over onto one side for fetal position, resting your head on your outstretched arm, bending your knees in towards your chest. And then go ahead and bring yourself up to a seat here, maybe cross-legged, maybe sitting on your heels. Rounding down into your sit bones, you can rest your palms down on your knees, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Let's take 3 deep breaths here together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Very nice. Bring my hands to heart center here. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight for class. Namaste.